This is Deborah with Black Education TV. I have a question for those of you who listen to this channel. The question is, are you binding up spirits and demons, or are you stirring them up? I ask this question because as I look at our lives, every last one of us, those we encounter, those in our families, those in our communities, we see so many things, we see so much drama. We are witness to a lot of it. We are involved in a lot of it. But one thing that we don't see in the midst of all of it is the working of demons and spirits. The workings of demons and spirits. We don't see how they are controlling and manipulating things, even in our own lives. I'm not just talking about other people, I'm talking about in our own lives. We don't see how demons are controlling and manipulating things. The problem is, too many of us think of demons as the snarling, growling creatures. We don't see them for the conniving nature, the sneaky, underhanded nature that they possess. And we don't see them for the purpose that they have. Their purpose is to sow discord. There's a passage in the book of Jubilee that actually talks about a certain percentage of demons that were actually sent into the world to stir up mankind. It didn't say it in those words, but they're basically sent to taunt mankind. And more than ever now, I am seeing this happen. The mask that they put on is so very unclear to us that we don't see them as demons or spirits. Oftentimes we look at a person or the person that the spirits or demons are working through or manipulating. We look at them as the culprit. We don't realize that people are being controlled by demons and spirits. Now, that's not to say that the people are bad people, because I'll say, even for myself, that demons have been able to make you feel a certain way about a certain situation. Demons and spirits make you feel a certain way about a certain situation to where you can't think that thing out right. For instance, it's demons and spirits that will have a person feeling like they are not loved, nobody likes them, everybody hates them, and they ponder on those thoughts. You think those thoughts just pop in a person's head? No. Demons and spirits actually plant those thoughts. And then they create the environment around that person to validate their feeling. And so all of us have been there before. I'm sure there has been times where you've thought or felt a certain way, and it turned out not to be true at all. But that demon or that spirit had enough influence on you to cause you to entertain that thought. You put so much focus and concentration on that thought to where it's taking you out of the divine nature. I talked about that the other day. It's putting you in a carnal state to where your concentration is on something that is not even true, something that doesn't even matter. See, demons and spirits have an assignment. That assignment that they have is to keep us carnal and clueless. I'm starting to see more and more how they work and how they operate, and it's starting to make me mad. Let me use a better choice of words. Angry. Angry that these spirits can so easily manipulate us to where we allow them to take huge chunks of our time focusing on things that didn't deserve any attention. And again, what do these demons and spirits use? Our human nature. Those spirits and demons want to keep you so far away from your divine nature that they're going to send everything. They're going to send all kinds of fiery darts in your direction. And those fiery darts can be simple thoughts planted into your mind to the point where you act on those thoughts, and then at the end of it, you see an explosion. You see an explosion because you acted on the thought that was planted. You acted on the human emotion. You acted on feelings rather than what was right. Like I said, we have all been there before. I'll say this. You know how the scripture talks about a menstruous woman? Because the spirits and demons know that a woman has certain emotions, they will tug on those emotions as often as they can. That's why a menstruous woman can be very difficult to be around unless she knows how to bring her flesh under subjection. Because demons and spirits will come around you at those moments and stir up anger, stir up bitterness, stir up sadness. Menstruous woman. The scripture talks about a menstruous woman bringing forth strange children. Now, back to that menstruous woman thing. I can even think back to my earlier years before I understood a lot of things. Around that time of month for me, it was like I would get very emotional. Anything made me sad. The smallest little thing. And that's because I didn't understand what was going on. The wind is blowing, so I'm not sure how this is going to affect what I'm saying. But I would get extremely sad during those times because spirits knew that women are more susceptible to certain things, you know, during pregnancy or during their menstrual period. And then other times, even when you're grieving, spirits know. So this is why they come around and they taunt you. They know what they're doing. They are doing their job. They know that most of us are not going to fight because we don't understand what's happening to us. So they'll plant a thought. The thought will say, oh, your husband doesn't love you. Oh, your children don't love you. You see, all kinds of thoughts. Or your mom doesn't like you. Or your mom likes this sibling better. I mean, any little thought to stir up your human emotions. And for men, sometimes the enemy will stir up anger in you for various reasons. Will plant a thought. Oh, black women don't like me. I mean, all kinds of things are being hurled at us because these demons want something from us. They want control of our thoughts and our minds to keep us away from that divine nature. When you listen to all of this stuff all the time, you begin to realize that it's true. Sometimes you feel helpless. You're like, what am I supposed to do? Because those human emotions are very real and we're attached to them. So we're feeling like that we have to react to what we're feeling. We feel that we have to respond to it because, hey, I'm feeling this. This is my body and I'm feeling it. That's because we have not been crucified in our flesh and in our minds. And so these demons try to take charge over us. And we've been taught to believe or made to believe that dealings with demons have got to be of the exorcist nature. We're thinking about Linda Blair and all of that nonsense. But we don't realize demons are always running about, planting thoughts, sowing discord, escalating situations to violence, causing people to commit murder, causing men to rape. All of the stuff that you see happening, this is because someone is listening to a thought. Someone is giving in to their human nature through the influence of spirits. I've heard people who are very successful or very happy and all of these things say that they've had thoughts of suicide and they don't know where it came from. If we understood that there is a battle going on around us, that there are spirits at work, if we understood that there is spiritual warfare constantly raging around us, we would get ourselves together a lot better. See, the thing is, a lot of these spirits, they know that they can't just take everybody out at the same time. But what they're starting to do is increase their attacks, increase their strategies. One day you'll look at your child who is normally one particular way, then all of a sudden you'll look at that child and you're wondering, where did this behavior come from? And you didn't teach them, especially for children who don't watch a lot of television. You're saying, where did this come from? We have to guard our children from our own emotions, because sometimes our own emotions and our own feelings will allow spirits to enter into our home. They'll dwell there, set up shop there, and before you know it, all kinds of things are happening in our lives. And at the same time, the Most High will look at what we are allowing to happen, because we're not taking control of our environment. And he will allow them to unleash even more on us. He will pull back his protection, because he's saying, especially for a man, he'll say, because you are not leading your household properly, I'm going to allow this, that, and the other to happen in your household. So as I'm analyzing all of this stuff that I see happening in the world, it's becoming more and more clear to me what I see happening. I see the movement of spirits, and they are not just docile spirits. These spirits have an agenda, they have a job, and they have a goal. And that's to destroy mankind. The Most High is trying to tell us that the solution is very clear, but we are not listening. We are not listening. We are allowing our human emotions to get in the way, our human nature to get in the way. We're letting our frailties get in the way. And I'm not going to make an excuse for it, because I too have allowed that. I've allowed things and situations and people to cause me to focus too much energy on something that didn't deserve any time. So there's no excuse that can be made. But once you understand and know what has happened, once you observe what the enemy is trying to do, you should have enough fear of the Most High in you to make things right. Because guess what? Situations will always arise. People will always upset you. People are always going to vex you. There's going to be a ton of things that's going to make you angry. You may always encounter problems and situations in your life. But do we give in to that stuff, or do we yield our members as instruments of righteousness? Like I said, so many things are taking place in each and every one of our lives. But I'm getting to the point where I am upset at these spirits for the attacks that they have made against people that I know, against myself, the environment around us. I'm getting upset at these spirits. We focus most of our anger against people. Now, we understand that human nature wants to do that, but the Bible tells us, it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places. The Bible clearly tells us that. I'm going to say this. I've met some very wonderful people over the years. And I have seen people do things that seems totally out of character for the person you met. In one sense, you say, man, what's wrong with these people? What's wrong with folk, right? But then when you begin to get your eyes open spiritually, you see what's happening is that spirits are at work. Because some of these same people that you love and embrace love you back, but they don't realize that they are being used by spirits. They don't believe or understand that they're being influenced by spirits. This is why it's hard sometimes for people to see what they've done as wrong in any situation. Because they know, they look at themselves and they say, well, I know I'm a good person, but they don't realize that they have allowed themselves to be used by a spirit. And those spirits are sitting back saying, mission accomplished. I've managed to completely decimate this relationship. Mission accomplished. I challenge you, family, to start getting mad and not mad. I'm trying to change my choice of words. Mad means something totally different, I challenge you, family, to be upset with these spirits and start to deal with them the way the Bible tells us to deal with them. I'm not saying surround yourself with people that are allowing spirits to use them, or people that bring vexation to you, or people who bring drama around. Just know and understand what's happening. Because the scripture does tell us to mark those that cause division and avoid them. If a person is allowing this stuff to happen in them and through them, and they're not seeing that spirits are manipulating them, you still have to avoid them, but understand what's happening. And pray that hopefully they can see what is happening. Because these spirits are doing this, especially among the children of Israel. I notice a lot of other nations, they don't go through the things that we go through. Even if they don't like each other, they know how to work together. But with our people, we are so easily manipulated by any and everything. Spirits, people, situations. We got to get upset at this stuff, and we got to start fighting back. We have to start fighting demons instead of encouraging them. Instead of stirring them up, we have got to fight them. Because I see what happens. Even as I observe my children, I see how they have a term for it. They call it sibling rivalry. I see how even my children are affected by this, where spirits will stir them up against each other. And you'll have this one arguing and bickering with that one over nonsense. One day, we witnessed, and we were just kind of in shock. We witnessed Sophia and Rebecca just going at it one day. I was saying to myself, what is this about? Because it wasn't something that I was used to seeing. Now, they're best friends and sisters. But this particular day, I said, man, what is going on here? That's what I mean, that spirits will get in where they fit in. Demons will influence any situation if we allow them to. It's like we have become so weakened in our minds as the children of Israel, to where we are just allowing chaos in our lives. And our focus is completely off. We don't understand what's happening around us. And we will hear a message like this and let it go in one ear and out of the other, not knowing the danger that we are putting our our spiritual state in some cases, our natural physical body. We don't understand the danger because we are so affixed to this human nature. And demons know this. Because demons and spirits know this, they launch daily attacks on us. And sometimes they start off small because they don't want you to realize what's happening. Sometimes these spirits will start off with small things. Listen to what I'm saying, family. Look over your life and look at situations that didn't turn out peaceful. Look at situations that seem to be out of character or out of sync or out of balance. Even on your job, just look at situations. Observe people. Observe situations. In your marriages, whenever there's a situation that arises, if there's a discomfort or anything, if there is any type of break in the flow of peace, step back and observe that. Something is going on there. There's a spirit that is there that shouldn't be there. You have to learn how to cast these things out because they are there to interrupt the flow of the Ruach HaKodesh. And what are you going to do? Are you going to give in to what they're trying to do? Or are you going to fight? What are you going to do? That's the question, family. Unfortunately, most of us give in. And then we find ourselves in situations, battles with people. We find ourselves in relationships that have resolved because nobody wants to self-examinate. Nobody wants to get to the root of the problems. And we want to nurture that human nature. We want to coddle that human nature. And you don't even realize your own human nature is an enemy to you. Like I said, if you continue to give in to the suggestions of these spirits, you may find yourself in a situation where you may not ever be able to recover spiritually. And it would take something very drastic and detrimental to bring you back around to peace. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And as always, I can say so much more. I could definitely say so much more. But I'm feeling compelled to stop now. Want you to know that I love you, family. And let's begin to yield our members as instruments of righteousness. Shalom.